came to the trip and I didn't really know what to expect.
I'd been to southern Mississippi before, but I'd never been up north.
Honestly, I had no idea anything, like what Mississippi would be like at all.
No clue what to expect. Nobody else in the group knows what to expect.
We didn't even know if we were going to have showers.
The intrigue of a place or a group, of going to a place or a group and never been before.
I knew vaguely that it was a really poor area, but other than that I didn't know much about it.
Well, I was born and raised in New Jersey, and I've been doing work in New York City, Philadelphia. I went to Flint, Michigan last year, all urban areas. Never seen a farm before, never seen Mississippi, and I had no idea what rural poverty was. You know, I really had no clue, no idea what I was getting into. But I was okay with that because I knew that God had a plan, and as long as I followed and didn't get in His way and just kind of went with it and opened my heart up and opened my mind up, that things were going to be exposed to me.
When we got to Mound Bayou for the first time on Sunday, Sister Donald Mary showed us around the Mercy Center. This isn't a Catholic school anymore. This is a place where you can come to get help, and that's exactly what they do. They offer a variety of services. They have a public library, they have a computer lab, they have a thrift store, GED tutoring, senior program, and they have all kinds of things to help out anybody in the community.
On the Monday that we started work from, Sister Donald Mary gave us a list of work that she needed done. And we were sticking to that list for the most part. And then after we were done with our work on that day, we were playing basketball with the community outside. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, it's like, these kids look happy. They're not doing drugs, they're not in gangs, they're just playing basketball. They're here, being safe, playing basketball. And also, another thing we heard that day was that a lot of people didn't really know what was going on at St. Gabriel's. They thought it was just a Catholic school. So the wheels started turning in my mind. I'm thinking, these kids love basketball, and it exposes St. Gabriel's and the Mercy Center to them. So I was like, well, how can we expand this? And I thought it would be great to enhance the basketball facilities. So I started talking to Eric and Dave and Ashley, and I was trying to figure out how can we make this work. And they told me to talk to the sisters. I talked to the sisters, and they say, actually, we have a basketball net. You want to put it up. And it was almost as if God knew that I was going to be here and that we were going to be able to do that. So we put the basketball net up, and it was hard at first because we didn't have the right equipment, we didn't have the right tools as far as the U-bolts. We had to travel all over the Delta region. But we eventually got it up there, and all the kids were playing on it, and I think it's definitely going to have a good impact on the community.
One of the things that I found was the most moving thing of the entire trip was working with the seniors. And the first thing they do when they get there is a thing called devotion, which is kind of like a prayer/song, just to kind of start their day. Everyone joins in, and it was really moving. I can't even really explain what it was, but it was just spontaneous singing and praying.
It was great to be involved in because the old ladies that are involved in the program have all kinds of energy. And it's awesome to be around them and to see their faith in action.
This is an African skirt. Teresa made the top that goes with it, and we also have a scarf that goes with it as well. We worked on it for probably about 2 days. It took longer than I expected. I have a new appreciation for what goes into making clothes.
Cleaned a lot of stuff, yeah. A lot of cleaning.
Lots of organizing. I've always wanted to do something like this. I went on a mission trip once before, and I've been dying to go on another one since. And so when this opportunity came about, I immediately jumped on it. I just really wanted to help people.
The Alcorn State Research Institute is a satellite site for Alcorn State. The center is especially geared towards the farmers in the area, making farming 48-foot plot a viable second job. For the most part, what we did there was actually help them in their transplanting process. At this time of month, it's right about time to start seeding and start to put them in the ground. So we were helping them, taking their seedlings and transplanting them into individual pots to allow them to mature before you put them in the fields.
And at some point, I can't remember who it was, but one of us asked Mike, so what happens after this? What's going to happen to all these plants once we're finished with this, or once they start to grow? And Mike took the opportunity to take us out behind the greenhouse. Got to walk right out onto the farmland. And it was interesting for me because I got the opportunity to meet a lot of the senior citizens from Mound Bayou. Agriculture is a huge part of their life, both their economy but also their community. And so to be able to walk out onto this field and in a moment take pride in the very small work that we as a group had done. That, okay, this is a part of what it was like for these senior citizens back when they were, tilling fields, when they were riding tractors, when they were planting seeds, when they were harvesting, when they were selling, when they were contributing that which they had grown and harvested with everyone else in the community. That's the point of connection, is the literal feeding of one another. I mean, I can buy a dinner for friends and feel like, this is what's connecting us, but to spend an entire year caring, growing, planting, watering, giving sunshine, and then harvesting all of this, all for the good of the community. It was a bigger experience than meets the eye.